Good morning, everybody. This is my third recording, so I hope third time's the charm. I'm recording this video because I think it will help make things more simple when you guys meet on Monday. Like I said, I have a training that I'll be attending, so I'll basically be attending just like the opening of the firm meeting. We'll go into the breakout room, and then I have to jump off. So I'm using this as a way to hopefully help generate a discussion, and so that way everything's hopefully clear. I wanted to start by telling you that I need somebody to make sure that this Zoom meeting on Monday is recorded during the breakout room sessions. I don't want you guys to have to write down your answers and then send them to me, because I think it'll be easier for me to watch this at a future date. So please coordinate with one another, make sure that happens. That would be awesome. The amount of time that's going to be spent on this before Monday is considered research, so please mark or log your time within the timesheets under Diversity Conference. And then just to give you a heads up, I have 5 questions prepared for this video that you'll be discussing in class. So if every one of you spends 2 minutes each talking during each question, it should equate to about an hour of a duration. So please don't be skimpy on your answers. Please involve discussion with one another. If something comes up and you have an idea, or if you have a question, please, that would be great. Okay, let's get started with this Venn diagram that I put together. So Adrienne Andrews is the head of the Diversity Conference, and this is the image that she painted for me. She talked about liberal women and conservative women and how different their viewpoints are in a lot of issues. However, there's one thing in common that they have, and they basically do not like pornography. So, if there's any way for them to have an agreement on one topic, it's going to be that. And so diversity, unfortunately, is kind of the same way. There's a lot of people who don't think it needs to be addressed, but there are others who are experiencing a way different experience, and they want, obviously, some type of awareness to happen. And so I think that's partly what the Diversity Conference can do, is we need to address these types of things. But there are people, again, who do care about diversity, people who don't. But we need to find a way to make a connection with everybody within that sphere. So please, with that in mind, or please keep that in mind with any type of marketing you're doing, any type of assignment. Just keep that visual in mind. Okay, question 1 says, who is our target audience for the Diversity Conference? What research, if any, led you to that conclusion? So, of course, with your brief client research assignment, it should go hand in hand with this. Shouldn't be hard to answer, but I just want to see what everyone else came up with. Question 2, if you could use a social media channel such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, or TikTok, etc., which do you think would be most effective in being able to reach that target audience, and why? So I gave you my example. I chose Twitter because there's a lot of diversity topics being covered there. Specifically within the NBA, Game 5 against the Bucks and Orlando Magic was postponed because Milwaukee didn't want to play since the shooting happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So a lot of athletes are taking to Twitter their viewpoints on this, and a lot of athletes, and not even within NBA, are taking similar stands and trying to shed light on the situation. So I think that Twitter is a place where a lot of diversity topics are happening, and I think it'll be familiar with people, and they'll basically expect it to happen there. So that was my answer. Next question says, because so few students are stepping foot on campus, our best bet is using these social media outlets to reach them. Please come up with an idea to market the Diversity Conference through one of these channels. So my idea was to find a way to come up with some synchronized or choreographed or whatever dance through TikTok, because I've seen a lot of success and a lot of shares through that way on TikTok. And so, not that I'm saying that's going to be us doing the dance. There's no way I would expect any of you guys to do that. But I feel like some dance, I don't know. You can obviously say, no, that's a horrible idea, Sean, or you could say, let's tweak it a little bit. I definitely would appreciate your feedback on this. But because the theme is connection, there's a song called Connection by OneRepublic. So I'm going to play it for you. It's just about, I think it said 11 seconds that someone would do this to. So here it goes. So hopefully you see my vision, someone doing something. I guess I think it'd be better to have more people than one, of course. But I'll tell you my ideas later, but that's just something to get the ideas sparked. So hopefully you guys come up with something, but that's my idea personally. Question number 4, on top of our target audience, we also want to reach those that marginalize the subject of diversity. How can we reach them as well? And then lastly, if Adrian Andrews, again, the head of the diversity conference, was in charge of determining your final grade for this course, what would you want to know about the conference so that your work could reflect an A? The answer that I came up with, or the question I came up with, was because the conference is virtual, does that mean anybody will be able to view it, or is it just for Weber State students? Because the keynote speaker that will be speaking on Friday, that one you have to have a specific reservation for, if you will. So I thought, what would be important to know who exactly has access to this training, or this conference, because in my head I thought, well, yes, we want to reach a student body, and yes, we want to reach the faculty and staff, but I also figured diversity is such a huge topic that we should try and do our best to market it to others as well, outside of Weber State. So basically that's where the Ogden Chamber of Commerce came in handy. I thought, well, maybe big corporations like Walmart, Sam's Club, well, I guess they're blended, yeah, Costco, Market Star, these businesses that have a lot of employees. I thought, well, maybe they would want their employees to view this, and they would be willing to talk about the conference with them and say, hey, there's this conference happening, tune into any of these 9 sessions, and hopefully they'll catch on, and hopefully they'll like the idea. But that was my idea. Don't just limit it to Weber State related things, students, faculty, and staff, but let's try and go beyond in the community, because diversity is such a huge topic. So I believe that's all that I have for you all, but I wish you luck, and I'm looking forward to hearing your answers. Please be as creative as possible, and please create as much discussion points as you will. Please help one another, and I look forward to hearing your answers. And again, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.